going on, everyone? Alex here, and as you can notice, we're in a different location. This is a much nicer house than where I live. I'm actually at my grandpa's house right now.
Gramps here.
Anyway, he wanted an aquarium set up next to his TV, something nice that he could look at, and we set this up maybe about a month and a half ago. It's a super simple scape. It's a Rotala rotundifolia, and then Limnophila, and then we have Salvinia floating on the top. And we set this up a month and a half ago and sort of neglected it. There's no livestock in here or anything. And I don't have any setup video of this aquarium, unfortunately, but we're gonna make this look a lot better than it already looks. So let's get to it. So what's next is we have Rotala here in the foreground and this really thin substrate bed here. We're gonna remove all this Rotala. We're gonna push it in the back behind the driftwood, and I'm gonna completely drain this tank and kind of scoop in the aqua soil more towards the center. I might even remove some, and then we're gonna cap off the foreground with sand. And it's just, I think it's gonna look better. It will have more depth instead of just these random Rotala plants in the front. And I think for longevity, it'll work out better because this substrate bed here, all the aqua soil, as you can see, is very thin, and I don't think it's really doing us any favors. So. I decided to revisit the Scape about a week later after doing all the revisions to it, just to kind of see how things were doing, and lo and behold, things were looking pretty fantastic. The water cleared up, the plants were growing, and with all that being said, we decided to add some little shrimpy boys in here. You know, they're doing wonderful, they're a great cleanup crew, and I've always been an advocate of adding shrimp a little moment before you add the fish, just to kind of clean the place up and clear up all that early onset algae that typically appears during the establishment phase of an aquarium. Three weeks later, the aquarium is just looking even better. Although it may not look like much height-wise as far as the background plants go, the Rotala in the back has been carpeting like crazy. And typically this is common in high lighting sort of scenarios where the lighting is plentiful and the Rotala has nothing to compete for. It will carpet first and then start making its way up. Here we have my grandpa scooping out some plant debris with his little strainer here. getting the ins and outs of the aquarium and such. Decided to do a little bit of trimming and propagating here, trying to get this background here growing as densely, as fast as possible. So just been cutting and replanting, and things are just looking really good really quickly. On top of all the replanting, I decided to replace the filter as well. I replaced it with one that was just slightly higher flow, and just something that had a bigger reservoir for more media and whatnot. With all that being said, it was finally time to add the livestock. We went with a school of celestial pearl Danios, and yeah, they're just looking really wonderful and healthy. And at first they were extremely challenging to film just because they were getting the lay of the land and just kind of figuring out the space around them. So I decided to give them just a little bit of space and decided to come back later.